Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com. You know, all you guys have been after me whenever the name Albert Roussel comes up to do the Roussel box. And I keep saying to myself, well, I did it. I did it. Well, I did do it. I did it at ClassicsToday.com. I didn't do it here. So here is the deal. If you're a ClassicsToday.com insider, go there and have a look at my review because it's got sound clips attached to it. So you can listen to some bits of this. If you aren't, you can just watch the video. And here is the Roussel box. I'll do it again just for you folks. But do please consider signing up to become an insider so you can read and listen to the clips and see all the other stuff we have over there. It's really great stuff. It is. Anyway, this box shocked me to death when it came out because I could not believe that the worthies at Warner Erato would actually do it. I mean, you know, no one really cares about Roussel. He's a fabulous composer. He's the great French symphonist, you know, maybe of the entire 20th century or thereabouts. And you know, so sure, he deserves a box. He truly deserves a box, but I never thought it was going to happen. And not only that, but it's still available, which blows my mind. And it costs less than $30. It's 11 CDs for like $26, $27 on Amazon. I mean, it's the best deal ever. It really is. It's incredible. And they've just left it in print. Maybe they printed a bunch of them and they're sitting around. Get them while you can. It's just fantastic. Let's see what's in it. Let's just go through it. And you're just not gonna believe all the good stuff that's in here. If you don't know your Roussel, you are missing something, buddy. Let me tell you, he is such a fantastic composer. All right, first we get the, let's see, Jean Boyen, piano, doing the Suite pour le piano, which is really quite a large, hefty, serious work, a marvelous work, and his sonatine and the three pieces, and it's all just great stuff. You know, his style was sort of started out quasi-impressionist, and then became very neoclassical, spiky, full of rhythm and crunchy, tart, wonderful harmonies, kind of like a really good lemon sorbet. I mean, that's what his music is like. It's refreshing. It's bracing. It's like Old Spice, you know. You know, once you've heard it, you know, you get this. Well, he was a sailor, actually. You know, so it's the scent men come home from the sea for. You know what I mean? It has that bracing, salty quality. That's just wonderful. Okay, so then we get the little piece called Segovia for guitar, and the impromptu for harp, and the Jour de Flûte, a beautiful suite in four movements. This is with Jonathan Snowden flute and Andrew Litton. Ooh, piano. Look at that. So then we have his more chamber music. You get the second violin sonata, which is in three movements. Oh, by the way, all of his music is very concise. I mean, there's not a wasted note anywhere. It's all very compact and concise. You may think it's over before it's time, but it always leaves you wanting more. And that's a good thing. It really is. And the serenade, oh my God, what a masterpiece this is for flute, harp, and strings. One of those great, you know, chamber music with harp things that French composers sort of specialize in. But this is one of the absolute greatest ones. And it is a masterpiece. Remember that. Serenade for flute, harp, and string quartet. Stunning. And then you get his trio for flute, viola, and cello, which is also a major work. It really is. And his string trio, these are all big pieces for him, you know, meaning like 12 minutes and three movements, maybe 14 minutes if you're pushing it. I mean, that's a lot for Roussel, but he packs a lot of content into a small area. And then the string quartet in D major, which is quite lovely, and that's played by the Quatuor Villanova, which is just fine. Then we're getting into the orchestral stuff. Now, the orchestral stuff is what he's famous for, naturally. And you have his piano concerto, which I always thought was like the weirdest piano concerto I ever heard, because it's like 11 minutes long, the whole concerto in three movements. No one's ever going to play it. Never. And it's so odd sounding. It's all like in the lower register of the piano. It's a very, very quirky piece. And the concertino for cello and orchestra, which is considerably longer than the piano concerto, I think, Yes, you do. Well, it's a bit longer. And then we have, let's see, who are the soloists? Daniel Laval, piano, and Albert Tétard, cello, with the Orchestra de Paris under Jean-Pierre Jacquelat. Remember him? Nah, it's okay. You don't have to remember him. He gets the job done. Then we get the tone poem after Tolstoy, Resurrection, and the First Symphony. Now, this is the Dutoit recording, which is the best entry in the Dutoit cycle. Dutoit recorded all four of them, not very well, frankly. They're okay, but they're not great. But the best thing he did was the First Symphony in that series. And so the First Symphony is a programmatic work called the Poem of the Forest. And it's a very impressionist, sort of glistening, glittery piece. It's quite lovely. No one ever performs it, which is terrible. Then we have the evocations, evocation for let's see, alto, tenor, baritone, chorus, and orchestra. This is a major, major, major work. And this is the Michel Plasson recording, which is quite good. There have been a couple others since then, which is a wonderful thing. And so you can have some choice now. Before there was an old super fun one, and there was this one, and then now there's one on Chandos. There's a couple more. Thank goodness. It's really cool. It's very, very cool. The work, the titles of the movements are Les dieux dans l'ombre des cavernes, the gods in the shadows of the caverns. I mean, come on, how could you not love that, right? And then La Ville Rose and Au bord du fleuve sacré, on the shores of the sacred river. It's one of these, Orientalist exoticism sort of things. And, it's so much fun. And then we get The Spider's Feast, conducted by Martinon. And if you've been paying attention to the Martinon videos, you'll know that in that Erato box of all the Martinon stuff, all of this stuff is in there. So you already have it if you have the Martinon box, but that's okay. Symphony number 2 with Martinon, one of the greatest recordings of anything ever by anybody. And this is unquestionably one of the great 20th century symphonies. Then we have Pour une fête de printemps, another symphonic poem with Jean-Pierre Jacquelat, remember him? And the Fanfare pour un sacre pain. Well, that's not exactly a household word, is it? It's less than a minute long. And the Suite in F major, the Suite en Fa, boy, is that a great piece. Totally fabulous, wonderful piece. That's with Charles Munch and the Lamoureux Orchestra, and the Concert for Small Orchestra with Pierre Dervaux and the Orchestral Colonne. These are famous French artists and conductors and stuff, and it's great to see this stuff coming back. This is even well chosen where they had choices. They chose correctly. And then we get, let's see, what's this? Le Bardite des Francs for male choir, brass, and percussion. Who knows that? Some of this choral music is really fun. Madrigal aux Muses for 3 female voices a cappella. And then a really large and interesting work that nobody knows. Psalm 80 for tenor, chorus, and orchestra. It's big. It's 8, 14 plus 8. It's about 24, 25 minutes long. It would make a fantastic coupling to the Florent Schmidt. That big thing. They would go wonderfully together, but no one's ever thought of doing it. But, I did. So someone should do it. But it's really a very, very good performance. It's under Serge Baudo. And then there's the Petite Suite and the Symphony number 3 in G minor. Third is the most famous one. And it's with Charles Munch. What's could be bad, right? Charles Munch and the Lamoureux Orchestra. Then we have Bacchus et Ariane, and we know that that's going to be with Martinon. And then we have A Glorious Day, Musique des Gardiens de la Pays. That's a band work. Those are fun with the rather screechy Musique des Gardiens de la Pays under Désiré Dondaine. He's a character. And the Sinfonietta for string orchestra with André Clutins. Pretty cool with the Paris Conservatory Orchestra. And the 4th Symphony with Charles Munch. What a lineup. Isn't that just fantastic? It's worth getting the whole box again because it costs less than $30, even if you have the Martinon stuff. And then there's, of course, Aeneas with Martinon, yes. And let's see, Dreams, and 4 poems and more poems and lots more poems. Now, this is his songs. And the songs are sung by a quartet of French song people. It's Colette Aliot-Lugaz and Kurt Ullmann and Mehdi Besplay and Joseph Van Dam. Nothing Not to Love. And some of the songs are beautiful. And there's even one in English, which I think I have a sound sample of or something like that in the Classics Today review. If you go over there and listen to it, or maybe I don't, but I don't remember. But there's a sample of all this stuff there. And then we have Padmavati. Yes, the opera, which is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. The Hindu opera featuring Marilyn Horne and Nikolai Gedda under Michel Plasson. Oh my goodness. I mean, where are you going to find singers like that? Thank God they got them to do this piece when they did. I mean, it really is, because there's not been another recording of it. And this one's pretty damn fine. It really is. And then we have two discs. Oh, that was disc 11, and at least the end of it. And then we have some historical documents. And the historical documents are Roussel conducting his own fragments from the Spider's Feast, Le Festin d'Araignée, and also he speaks about that recording and how it came to be made for 18 seconds. You get to hear him chat in French. And then we have The Birth of the Lyre, the Dance of the Nymphs, conducted by Piero Coppola. That's his lyrical tale in 3 tableaux, an opera, which, when are we ever going to hear that? I mean, we finally got, Aunt Caroline's Will, La Testament de Tante Caroline, whatever it was. It's on Naxos now. We have the whole thing, at least the whole revised thing. We don't have the whole original thing, but it's out. So that's there, but we still have to get The Birth of the Lyre. Come on, guys. There's only one more to go. And then there's some songs with Roussel playing the piano, at least on some of them. And that's really nifty. So there you have it, 11 CDs, the Roussel box, a wonderful, wonderful collection of stuff by one of the major 20th century French composers. And if you don't own it, your life is empty and meaningless and meager and pointless and irrelevant. So get to it. I mean it. Keep on listening, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care.